lost sight of my dreams. Thought it would be the end of me. I thought I'd never make it through. I had no one to hold on to. I thought I would break. I didn't know my own strength, and I crashed down and I tumbled, but I did not crumble. I got through all the pain. I didn't know my own strength. Survived my darkest hour. My faith kept me alive. I picked myself back up, hold my head up high. I was not built to break. I didn't know my own strength. Found hope in my heart. I found the light to light my way out of the dark. Found all that I needed here inside of me. Yeah. I thought I'd never make it through. I had no one to hold on to. I thought I would break. I didn't know my own strength, and I crashed down and I tumbled, but I did not crumble. I got through all the pain. I didn't know my own strength. Survived my darkest hour. My faith kept me alive. I picked myself back up, hold my head up high. I was not built to break. I didn't know my own strength. There were so many times I wonder how I get through the night. I thought I took all that I could take. I didn't know. I didn't know. I didn't know. I did not know my own strength. And I crashed down and I tumbled, but I did not crumble. I got through all the pain. Oh, my strength. Yeah. Oh, I was not built to break. You're not built to break. We gotta know. Know your own strength. Oh, thank you. Thank you. You beautiful, magnificently wonderful, delicious, yummy, beautiful, spectacular, universal co-creators. Hello. I want to thank CSL for having me back. Reverend Kathy Ann, I forgot to thank Beverly. Thank you so much. You guys are so blessed. This amazing band. Thank you. It is so good to be here. And you know, that song, I didn't know my own strength. It talks about a time when we're in that old saying, the dark night of the soul. You know, some of these old sayings we need to throw out. I'm just saying. See, they're agreeing with me. When we're in the midst of that moment, see, that's the fertile time that's taking place. And I know sometimes when we get hit with things, because my talk today is about the beauty of contrast. Contrast, problems, troubles, challenges. You know the words we like to stay away from. When we're in the midst of that, you are in the midst of birthing something new. So holding on to your faith, not on to what you can see, but holding on to your faith. What is your faith? Sometimes you gotta ask that question of yourself. What am I believing in this very moment? Because if I am believing in whatever contrast or problem or situation is showing up, I'm believing in less than who I am. I'm believing in less than what I know, because God is all that there is. Do you believe it? It's easy to say when things are on easy street, isn't it? When you're clicking your heels and everything, you feel like Dorothy. It's easy to do at those times. Those are the times that you must practice your belief. Those are the times that you spend in meditation. You read to expand your consciousness. You pray in the divine appreciation for the divineness that is. Those are the moments. So that when the dark night of the soul comes knocking at your door, you can let it on in and say, go sit over there. I'm going to commune with spirit right now. I'm going to stay in the presence of God because I know that you are a gift to me. See, no longer must we be afraid of a challenge or of trouble or of contrast. We are to understand now, because we know more now, that it is through this knowingness we know what we don't want, so we can move on over to what we do want. If you just in lollygag all the time, you get bored. There is no expansion. There's no growth in that. And if you over here and worried, oh Lord, how's it going to work out? What's going to do it? How's it going to do it? Where it's coming from? What's going on? There is no expansion in that, but more of what you don't want. So these times when you're in the middle, after the contrast, the problem, the situation has shown up, that's when you got to get in the middle and know your truth. You get in the middle of prayer, you get in the middle of your time with spirit and start to recognize that this is a divine opportunity birthing you forth. You see, right now in this wonderful world, some of us like to have that old conversation that we need to throw out. Ooh, times is hard. I ain't never seen it like this before. Well, you know, like 5 years ago, times was hard. I ain't never seen it like this before. It is time for us as evolving beings to evolve our conversation. We cannot stay in the old conversation expecting something new. That's not how it works, and you know it. You don't get to pick and choose. Because when you picking and choosing, most of the time we're picking the things we don't want. I have a friend of mine that loves to look at the news. Now, did you hear that? She loves to look at the news. She loves to look at the news only to complain about the news. And she wants to blame the news and people that are in the news. Well, she's making a choice daily. She's making a daily choice. She's making a practice commitment to look at something that she says does not inspire her. She's making a choice to look at something that keeps her unplugged from source. Yet this is the divine opportunity. The news is the gift. My cousin once told me, he said, Gino, because I don't look at the news. I'm clear about me in the news. He said, I look at the news to see what I can do. I said, ooh, when I grow up, that's where I'm going to be. I'm still growing. So I stay on the other side, knowing that in the midst of everything that's unfolding, there is good happening because God is in it. I don't have to know how it's going to happen. My awareness is to be aware of what I'm giving forth to what's happening. What I am choosing to give to the world, how I am choosing to show up every day. So my practice is about joy. It's about appreciation. And when I say it's my practice, I mean I spend time feeling that vibration, feeling the moment of it, riding the wave of it. Yesterday, Harold and Rob and I took a walk, and I saw 2 bald eagles at one time. It was 2 of them. I was like, oh, wow. And then I saw a falcon. And I turned to Harold. I said, I want to see him fly so I can see his wingspan. Before I could get it out, he took off and flew for me. Now, I know that was God talking to me. And I said inside, look at you show off. Look at you, God. We must recognize when we're in the flow with spirit. Don't let those beautiful moments pass you by thinking it's a coincidence. I know it was no coincidence. I know the bird heard me and said, let me show you, Gino. Talking to me. Spirit is always talking to you. But are you listening? Are you seeing? Are you seeing the things that upset you? Is that more entertaining? Because, you know, we have our stories down. We have our own dramas down. And you love to call your friends. You say, girl, or yo, man, you know what? And you start in. You start in on the beautiful contrast that is here for you to birth to something new. See, the universe only knows yes. That's all it knows. Constantly, it is showing you yes. You know, when we have an earthquake, you know the sun still rises. That sun will go, oh, nope, I can't do it. I cannot do that today. Now, it may not be shining where you are, but that sun rises every day. That is well-being, baby. That's complete and total well-being. If we have a forest fire, sun still rise. Still rise. This universe is so divinely, absolutely prepared for us to guide us into a greater bliss if we would only start looking to it. Now, I know when we look to things, sometimes we want to see the demonstration right now. Well, if God would show in my bank account $1.5 billion, I would be a much happier person. Well, that's not how the universe works. There are universal laws that are in place, and we have to get in alignment with the universal laws. They're not like human laws that change from this day to that day, or if you got this much money or that much money. No, universal laws work for everybody all the time, never ever stopping, never ever ceasing. It's what it is. And when you get into alignment with the universal laws, the world will show up and show out for you. You will have a falcon that come and fly and say, look at me, girl. Look at me. This divine contrast, the problem, the situation, the new seed that's being planted. That's how I like to look at it now, like, ooh, there is a new seed being planted in my life. What will I water it with? Will I water it with doubt and worry? Will I water it with love and appreciation and joy? Or will I just freeze for a moment and call somebody and start the talk, start the conversation? If you don't know for yourself, call someone that's plugged in. Don't call somebody that's unplugged. Because y'all both be, yeah, that's right. This world is coming to an end. The world is going nowhere, and God is for everyone. Let me help you with that again. God is for everyone. Yeah, that's the Republicans, that's the Democrats, that's the Libertarians, that's wherever you are, God is for you. So if you think just because you something else, God don't like ugly. No, God loves everybody. You're the one that made it ugly just because you think it affects your life. You are the creator of your life. If that is who you are, stand in that creation. Stand in your power and understand that what you think and feel is what's showing up in your life. It's what's showing up to you. What Kathy Ann is doing is showing up for Kathy Ann. It ain't showing up for Gino. But what Gino is doing is showing up for Gino. So if you want to stand up and show for your life, then you've got to change your conversation. You've got to practice something different. If you find yourself looking at murderous shows and cop shows and news all the time, you want to change that up to things that inspire you, that cause you to open up at the top. Otherwise, you're going to stay in the same conversation talking about God ain't here yet. I looked at my watch and God is always here. I play a game with God. I look at numbers. 1111. I see 1111 more than you can imagine. Driving down the freeway up on a sign that's not working. 1111. I go, hello. You want to talk to God like you talk to that on your cell phone. Talk to God about what's going on because God is with you. God is never against you. The only thing that can ever be against you are your own thoughts, your own thinking. You know, the stories you make up. I'm good at making up stories too. You got to become aware of where you're living. Where is your livingness? How are you in your livingness? I shared this story earlier. Some months ago, I was in Ventura, California, at the beach. Decided, let me connect, let me plug in to God. Let me watch the waves. I play a game with how many waves can I count before I just be like, ooh, Lord, there's too many waves. I can't count all these waves. They don't stop. It's like the abundance of the universe just doesn't stop. So as I got back in my car and pulled off, I noticed my car was acting funny. I get out and my back tire is flat. Now, that is a beautiful moment. That's a moment of a problem, of a situation, of contrast happening right there. Now, in the old days, maybe 6 months ago, I might have said, oh, God, I was here recognizing you, and look what done happened. But that's not where I went. I shifted to, oh, well, I know that God is in this tire, and God is with me right now. All right, God, we're going to go put some air in this tire. So we went and put air in the tire, and I was feeling the love and the joy and the peace and the harmony. I was on my way to the gym. You know, you got to pump yourself up, you know, to get to that gym sometime. Nothing wrong with it. So when I got to the gym, the tire was flat again. I said, God, you're going to have to do something. You got to do something. What do I do? But now recognize, I did not get upset. I stayed in a space of like, okay, God, I'm turning this over to you. What is my next step? I was like, do I go to the gym? It was like 5 o'clock. No, go get your tire fixed. Okay. So normally I go to American Tire because as I travel, they're everywhere. And I get the tire replacement plan. Works fantastic. I recommend it. So I go to this place, that American Tire. I'm like, great. I go in, and I'm in a very playful mode. I love to play with people. My mother used to tell me, Gino, stop playing with people so much. They don't know you. But I walk in, I'm like, hey, I need a tire. So I give him all the information. He says, oh, is that an Audi? I said, yes. He said, you have to get 4. I said, well, you better call Audi. If you want me to buy 4 tires, you better call Audi. Lady, I'm telling you what the book says. I said, okay, but I don't want to buy 4 tires. I want 1 tire. So he said, we don't have the tire. I said, just put some air in it, please. I said, isn't this American Tire? He said, this is American Tire Depot, Depot, Depot. I said, ooh, well, all right then. I knew inside I'm in the wrong place. So when I got in my car, and I'm watching myself as this is unfolding, because I've had the tendency before, just lose it. You know what? Forget about it. I don't know why this happened to me. You know you've been there where you just be like, I don't know why life is not my friend, why things aren't working out for me. But I didn't go there. I heard it. I said, nope, you get out. I'm going to stay with God. I'm going to stay in the presence of God. I'm going to stay in the joy of God. And God, I know you know what to do. So I find American Tire. It's about 5 miles. I'm like, I could make it there. I could get right on the freeway and drive to American Tire. Now, you know the craziness of that with a bad tire. But I thought the speediness of it would make the difference. Because I could get there faster before the air ran out. But just as I'm about to get on the freeway, motorcycle cop pulls up next to me. He goes, you can't get on the freeway with this tire. Pull it over there, pull it over there. It's like, all right. So I pull into a Shell station. And now, I know you're wondering, why didn't she just call AAA? Because sometimes when you're in the midst of your human stuff, it takes over. And it has questions and answers for you that don't make sense. Like, Gino, you probably call AAA too much. Don't call them. So as I'm sitting there with my hazards on, I turned on Abraham Hicks so I could keep my vibration, because I could feel it was starting to woo. And just as I did that, there was an older lady that came up to my car and knocked on the window. And I had Abraham blasting. I was trying to get the door, down. So partially I got it down, and she said, are you all right? I said, oh. Abraham was screaming. I could, how you're trying to hit the phone and it wouldn't go off. I was like, yes. So when she came out of the store, I got out of the car and I hugged her. And I said, thank you for checking me. And we both got a little emotional because you didn't have to do that. But what I knew that was God going, Gino, I got you. You don't have to worry about a thing. When you know what you know, you don't have to look for a result. You trust what you feel. So I called AAA. They said, no problem, Miss Walker, we'll be right out. I was like, that was easy. Because God is simple. God is simple. You plant the seed, you give it love, it grows, period. Simple. We like to add a whole bunch of other stuff in there. So when I find out American Tire closes at 6, I go, well, I'm going to have to leave my car there. I was like, you know what? I'll catch the bus. It'll be fine. I'll meet new people. I'll get an opportunity not to have to drive in traffic. I can just sit back. I said, I can listen to Abraham. I can just enjoy. I was like, that's all right. That's fantastic. So by the time we get there, AAA gets to me about 5:46. So by the time we get to American Tire, It's about 5:56. And I go, I know it's too late. He says, no problem. We'll get you in. I said, well, all right then. He goes, you're Gino Walker? I go, yes, this is American Tire. I'm Gino. I'm like so excited. So he looks at the tires. He goes, guess what? You're covered. Ah! All you got to pay is $11. I'm like, hi, da, 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 da. But now, I want you to be mindful here because this is where it gets a little crazy. Because we love to look at the manifestation. It's not about the manifestation. It's about the feeling vibration that I had set. See, I set a feeling vibration that I stayed in alignment with. So when he said $11, yes, that felt good. But what I knew is like, God, I'm co-creating with you. We co-creating together. I was a part of this thing. You want to feel that energy because it's powerful. So as I was sitting there, he came back out. He said, Gino, you know when they go, Gino. I was like, Bill. He said, your front tire, we didn't notice before, but the tread is really gone. I said, okay, what does that mean, Bill? He said, well, the tire's about $185. I said, you know what? That's a lovely price. It's not one I'm prepared to pay right now, but it is a lovely price. So he said, well, what can you do today? I said, what do you mean? He said, what could you do right now? I said, 25? He said, yes, I'll take care of it for you. So they took my car back there, and what they didn't even share with me, they not only changed that front tire, but they changed another back tire. So I got 3 brand new tires for about $50. And once again, I want to remind you, this is not about the manifestation. This is about staying in the alignment, staying in the joy, knowing that God is working, even though I don't know how God is working. I didn't know Bill was going to be there. I didn't know that, but God knew. I didn't know Bill would open up his heart to do that, but God did. So when you stay in the presence of God, when you stay aware to God, not to the situation, you give thanks for it because it's birthing you to a newness. See, what I learned that day was that I can be in the invisible and trust what I feel. That's a powerful feeling. I can be in the absolute knowingness that God is always right there working in and through me. I can be in the place of accepting the Spirit of God. Always, no matter what shows up. Sometimes the medical diagnosis will show up. And I understand sometimes the bank account says something. I understand that these are issues, that these are problems, that these are challenges. But we have said that we believe in God. And if you believe in God, you must believe in that more than what you see. See, what you see is temporal. It's constantly changing. But what you can know, I know the sun will rise every day. I ain't got nothing to do with that. I know that this world is turning constantly. I don't care what happens. It does not stop. The perfection of the universe is incredible. The perfection of each and every one of you is absolutely magnificent. You came here fully packed, ready, and loaded. All of your batteries are in, and they charged up, baby. You don't have to recharge them. You just got to trust them. Trust. And when you trust that, you will know in your heart. You will feel this presence. Every time I feel the Spirit moving in my heart, I will pray. Every time I 1, 2, 3, 4. Bread.